we'll be taking a look at the Azure fundamentals. But before that, we have our sponsors for the event. That is Wendy and Esther from Jenga School. So we'll be giving them a chance to talk more about Jenga School. I'll also be sharing a form that if you're interested to hear more about Jenga School, then you can join. So I'm going to give a chance to Wendy.
Thank you so much, Felix. We are honored to actually be here. I'd like to invite my colleague, Esther. I know she's here. She'll be sharing her deck, as well as just explaining what we do, who we are, and how we are partnering with you guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'll stop sharing my screen. I hope you have access to the chat section and also the ability to share your screen. That one should be available. And once more, sorry guys, there was a problem with the whole automation of the sending of the invite. So I know most of you got the invites late, and some of you got the wrong invite. So, but the recordings will be available on our YouTube channel. That is the Microsoft Launch.Ambassadors Kenya. After this, yeah.
Thank you so much, Felix. I'll go ahead screen and speak a little bit about what we do at Jenga. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
So Jenga School is a professional institution bridging a vital gap in the tech ecosystem, and we are focused on developing world-class talent for African companies by offering a rigorous education in data science and AI and software development. And we have 3 courses. One is the foundations course. This is for individuals who are looking to gain the basic skills in data science. That is skills like Excel and Python. So, and to join this course, all you need to do is to apply, and the cost for the program is $600. Then we have a 12-month course for individuals who are already practicing data science and would want an on-ramp into the domain. And for that, we have, it's a 12-month course. The cost is $2,900 for the whole program. And then now we have our latest program, which is our Software Talent Accelerator program. And the program is designed to equip aspiring software engineers with the practical and professional skills they need to kickstart their careers. And what do we do at Jenga that is a differentiator for us? We have PhD instructors, and this is because we believe that these are people with many years of instructional experience, and they'll be able to transfer that knowledge to the students that are coming on board. Then we have in-class teaching assistants. They're supposed to support the student learning journey, just in case a student has missed a class and they don't understand something. They have someone that they can call upon to assist them. Then we have the industry mentors. We have high-profile individuals who come on board every month. And this is because we believe if we equip our students with the skills and mindset, they'll be able to transition to be effective industry practitioners, like the ones that come on board. And then we have global corporate partners. These are organizations and companies that have data science, AI, or software development talent needs, who come on board and pick students from our pipeline, students who probably don't have jobs, or students who want to transition into different jobs. Then our core principles: once you join Jenga, what you gain are practical technical skills. And this is achieved through the projects that students take on board. Then we have strong communication skills. Our students are expected to write blogs, because we don't want engineers who come out of the program who can only have practical technical skills but are not able to communicate well. Then we have business acumen. They're able to gain that through the industry lectures. And also we're able to produce people with systems thinking and people who are passionate for the craft, because we want to produce people who are ready for the 21st century career advancement. So when I talk about industry lectures, I'm talking of individuals like these ones who've come on board before. They've been able to talk about the skills that they use and how our students can be able to use the skills that they gain in class. Before, we've had someone from ZDNet, that is Larry Dignan. We've had Sindhu Raghavan from Pinterest. We've had Becky Tucker from Netflix. We've also had Natalie Bodes from CBS Interactive, and also Steve Crawford from NASA. So we're looking to get, we usually source for high profile people who can come and, you know, inspire our students and help them to, you know, to also think outside the box. And also the latest one that we've had is Toby Mathias, who is actually a business person who uses the skills in Python in her businesses. So that is it for me. And if you want to learn more about Jenga School, please fill in the form that Felix will share. Thank you. Felix, over to you.
So unfortunately, Felix has dropped off because of his internet. So we can take the questions first, and then anyone who has any question for the Jenga team, and then if there's no question, we'll continue with the session. So anyone who has any question for the Jenga team? Okay. Okay, since there are no questions, I think we'll just continue with the session. So I see Felix has just joined back. So Felix, you can go ahead.
Okay, sorry guys, I had some problems with the internet, but now I'm back. Okay, so thank you so much. I'm going to share my screen. Can someone confirm if you can see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, so thank you. Also, in our session today, we'll be taking a look at the fundamentals of Microsoft Azure and also the Azure cognitive services, specifically the computer vision, Azure computer vision. So Microsoft Azure, it's a form of a cloud computing service, just like Google Cloud, DigitalOcean, or Amazon, or the Amazon Web Services. So cloud computing services are the current trend, and they are quite important in a way that right now you don't have to set up your own servers. Let's say you have your own startup and you want to start working on your organization, and imagine going through the stress of buying all those expensive servers and setting them up, by hiring the network engineers and all that. So cloud computing relieves you of that stress, where now instead of doing all that process, you just make use of the services available in a pay-as-you-go service. So we'll be taking a brief look into Microsoft Azure, why cloud computing is important, and then finally we'll go into the details on how to activate your Azure for Students account and how to get your API keys. Okay. So why cloud computing? So just as I mentioned before, having your own physical servers, it's risky, right? Because at the moment where you are taking care of your own network, there are risks involved. One being, there are times where maybe your network might be down, and maybe if you are a team of 3 or a team of 5, it becomes difficult to ensure that your network is up 24/7. But when you opt for cloud computing services, when you make use of these cloud computing service providers like Amazon and Microsoft, the reliability of your service always being up is almost 100%, 99 point something, and there's also that truth for scalability. And the importance of scalability is that, let's say, for example, maybe your site goes viral maybe once in a while, or you experience high number of users at a given period. If you're using the cloud computing service, what happens is that when you're experiencing that high number of users, it handles that automatic scalability, meaning your resources can be duplicated. If, let's say, for example, let's say you are having some VMs in the cloud, and it can automatically do the vertical scaling or the horizontal scaling. So when we talk of vertical scaling, that means it will be increasing the resources, for example, increasing more RAM, increasing more CPU. But then when you talk of horizontal scaling, what it will be doing to actually be duplicating your resource. For example, if it's a VM, it will be getting multiple versions of that VM to handle the high incoming requests. Now, the advantage of this is that you pay for what you use. So when you're experiencing high traffic, you'll pay more, but then when you're experiencing low traffic, then you'll actually be paying less. Then when you talk of elasticity, your cloud-based applications can be configured to always have the resource they need. So you'll find that in the cloud computing platform, there are a number of resources that you can make use of. For example, if you're building an application that maybe is a chat-based application system, and you want to make use of event triggers, for example, to automatically send out notifications to users, for example, if somebody posts an article, all those are available on the cloud computing platform. So these are just some of the few benefits of cloud computing. So we also have agility, so your cloud-based resources can be deployed and configure it quickly. Imagine if you are doing it locally, you are doing it with your own team, then it takes days to do that, and you also need a team of more than one person. But maybe if you're alone, then it's just a small startup, you can easily do it just from the comfort of your PC. Then geo distribution. If you're using an application like that, it's being used all over the world. Think of Netflix that has users all over the world. So that time you're streaming a movie from Netflix, what happens is that you're fetching that movie from the nearest data center, right? So if you're having a user in the US and maybe you are in Kenya, so the users who are in the US will be fetching the data from the nearest server, the nearest data centers in the US. If it's from Asia, they'll be fetching from the nearest data center in Asia. So this one makes it easier this one makes your whole network to be elastic, and it can accommodate more users. Then disaster recovery. By default, the cloud computing, Microsoft Azure provides the disaster recovery resources. So it comes in various ways, where at times they might give you compensation if there was something that happened, but because they have multiple data centers across the world, and there's always a duplicate of these data centers, such that in any case one data center goes down, then the other one can easily pick up. So when we talk of cloud computing models, we have infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, then software as a service. So it's upon you to decide which cloud computing service you want to use. For example, when you talk of infrastructure as a service, this one will mean you are the one who will be taking, you are the one who is going to be deciding like the operating system you want to install. You are going to configure all the networking on your virtual machine. So you have full control on how and where you want your application to run. But when you talk of platform as a service, then the cloud service provider relieves you of some stress, like determining the operating system that's going to run and all the networking. So on platform as a service, you will mainly focusing on how your application is running and building your software. And when we talk of software as a service, so when you talk of software as a service, this one is where you as the user, you are not involved in, for example, the development of that software. We're just making use of that services. For example, things like Microsoft Power Automate that we normally use as student ambassadors to send you the emails, the automated emails. So that's an example of our software as a service, where you just have to use the service and pay a given fee. When you also talk of types of cloud computing, we have public, private, and hybrid. So hello, can you hear me? Okay, I think today I'm having problems with my internet. Sorry for that, guys. So the types of cloud computing, where we have the public and private and hybrid. So I want to quickly brush through the types of Microsoft Azure cloud computing services, and then we'll get into the details. So when you talk of types of cloud computing, you have the public, the private, and the hybrid. So when you talk of the public, it means that all these services are available to everyone, and private means that you own your own data center, and hybrid, it's a combination of the public and the private, where you decide, okay, I want some of my data to be available on your own private data center, but then you want some of them to be available on the public. So that was just a brief introduction on Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing Services. So the main feature of Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing Service that we'll be using for this event is the Azure Cognitive Services. So when you talk of the Azure Cognitive Services, Microsoft Azure gives you a number of services that you can easily use for building application. And specifically, we'll be taking a look at Microsoft Azure computer vision. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go direct into the website. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and share it once more so that I get onto the website. So I would like you guys to maybe fire up your browsers so that you can get started into creating the accounts. Let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, just a minute, I'm about to share my screen. Okay, can you confirm if you can see my screen? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I am on the Microsoft Azure website, that is azure.microsoft, and I'm on the Azure Cognitive Services. So when you talk of Azure Cognitive Services, Microsoft gives you some of the services. So some of these services, and they involve one of them being the Azure Computer Vision. So we'll be using Azure Computer Vision on the Microsoft on the AI gaming platform. So what this simply does, because it's an API endpoint that you'll be using to make a request. So once you get your Azure activation code, you'll be making an API request to this specific platform. So once you make a request to the API request, you'll be making a request to, for example, an image, and then the Microsoft Azure Cognitive Services will be able to tell you the content of that image. Once you get back the content of that image, for example, if you send an email, or when you're sending the image, you actually don't know what the content of that image is. So when you get the response, you can tell that, for example, this is a landmark, this is an animal, and then based on what you get back, that you use that one to decide on how to make a next move. Now, to get started with Azure Cognitive Services, just quite simple. You'll need to create an account if you don't have an account, or if you have an account already, you just need to sign in. But because most of you are students, we have something called Microsoft Azure for Students. Microsoft Azure for Students. So we'll just Google Microsoft Azure for Students, and it will bring you onto this page. So now, what Microsoft Azure for Students does is that you get $100 worth of credit to use Microsoft Azure. That is if you sign in using your school email. But there is normally a problem with especially schools from Africa, where Microsoft does not recognize your school email as a valid school email. So that's where now we'll be issuing the Microsoft Azure. We'll be issuing out the Microsoft Azure activation codes. So the process is quite simple. You will just need to come and sign in, and you will need to use your school email. So maybe, I hope you guys have your browsers open. So let me give it some time. So by default, I'm signed in with my student ambassador email. So just click on Start Free. So let me give it some time to load. There's a problem with my internet today. Okay, let me sign in. Okay. So the process at times might take you some time. You'll need to verify your phone number. So because I'm from Kenya, I'll just select Kenya. So, okay, I don't know if I should type my phone number here. Just a minute. Drag this window down and fill in my number. So once you fill in your phone number, you're going to receive a text. Once you get that text message, then you will select the method of activation and select an email. So let me just get done with this process. Then I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so who has managed to get up to that point and is having some problem or other question?
I think I already signed with my school email, but I don't know how to proceed.
Okay, so I'm just entering my code 7573. Then I'm going to share my screen. You are likely to see something like this. Unable to confirm your school ID. So this one mostly happens simply because Microsoft maybe doesn't recognize your school email as a valid institution email. So maybe who that was speaking, you can share your screen so that we see what exactly.
Okay, let me share again.
Then you can help you. Now, let me get back to, okay, once you share your screen, you can let me know, then we will get back to the Azure Cognitive Services. Okay, so click on Start Free.
Can you see?
Yeah, click on Start Free.
All right, so I'm already logged in. Okay, Start Free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to sign in with your school email address.
Well, I have an email, but I think. Okay.
Yeah. So you'll select your country, then enter your phone number. Maybe as you're doing that, you can stop sharing the screen.
No, it's already done.
Who else has gotten to that process? Who else has gotten to that step? Has reached that step?
Okay.
Okay, so you'll have to fill in your details. Okay, just before that, can you scroll up?
Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, sorry.
Okay. Or maybe you can fill the details, then share your screen.
Okay. That works too.
Okay, who else has managed to get up to that point? Okay.
I'm asking, what if you didn't have an account with Microsoft Azure? You just click start free.
Okay, if you didn't have an account, you have to create an account. Yeah. So I just want to share a form that if you don't have an account, then if your school email address is not activated, you're going to fill this form. Once you fill this form, you're going to get an email. Okay, you are not going to get an automatic email right now. There was a problem with the flow. We automated it, but we just experienced some problems some few minutes ago. So after the session is when we are going to send all the Azure activation codes to those who are filling the form. So just a minute, I share the form. I link to the form. I hope today everyone has access to the chats, right? Okay, so copy link. I'm going to share that link. So what you need from you is quite simple. You just need your first name, school email address, and then the name of your school. So that one is required for everyone who will be receiving the codes, because I will be sending back that information to Microsoft. Okay, so if you can take a look at your charts, you're going to see the form of the shared. Once you fill the form, you will get the Azure activation code. So I'm going to share my screen and show you now how to get how to get your API key. Okay, so I'm going to sign in into Microsoft Azure. Let me know if I see my screen, so you can confirm. So once you sign in, just go direct to portal.azure.com. So this is something that you can do even without you having the Azure activation codes. You can, by default, you can sign up and create a resource, even if you still don't have the Azure activation codes. Then, so once you get into Microsoft Azure, you will see a number of services. So by default, you can create a resource. So a resource are just some of the services that you'll be using. That it can be storage resource, it can be virtual machine resource. So it's quite simple. Now, you can click on create a new resource. So once you click on create a new resource, you'll search for the computer vision. So it will take some time to load. Yep. So once you get to that point, you'll click on create. So these are resources we are creating. And you will select the subscription you want to use. So for example, because you'll be using the Microsoft Azure for Students subscription to activate your code, then you can use select Azure for Students Startup. But in my case, I'm going to use Visual Student Enterprise. Then we have something called a resource group. So a resource group is just like a container that you use to group your related resources. So for example, if I'm working on a VM, and for example, I have VMs, my own, I have VMs, I have databases, I can decide, okay, let me group all the VMs together, or let me group all the VMs and the databases that are related maybe to this organization or maybe to this department. So it's upon you to decide how now to use your resource group. But the most important thing is that you must assign the resource you're creating to a given resource group. So if you take a look, I have a number of VMs, so I'm just going to create a new VM. I'm going to call it test AI gaming. Test AI gaming, and then create that. Once I create that resource, then I will select the region where I want my resource to be deployed. So you can decide to select any, you can decide to select West. I will encourage you guys to use West Europe. Then the name of the resource that you're using. So for example, I can say the name of the resource is AI gaming test 2. Then once I select on that, that one already exists, AI gaming test Digiplex. Yep. So it must be a unique name. Then you'll select the pricing tier. So that's, for me, I'm going to use the standard version S1. So this one has 10 calls per second. You can make up to 10 requests per second, but then this one is limited to only 20 calls per minute and then 5K calls per month. So I'm going to select on standard. And then on the top, let me zoom in my screen. I doubt if you guys are seeing my screen clearly. So let me zoom in. So on the bottom left, you'll click on review and wait, and that's going to deploy your VM. So validation failed, requirement information is required or not valid. So let me just get back to previous and see what's not correct. So create a resource. Okay, let me just start the whole process once more. I'll click on create. So let me just click on that existing resource, the AI Gaming West US. and call this one provide test easyflex. Just copying that. Then the pricing tier, I'm going to select on standard as one. Then I'm going to tick on this box, and then review and create. Okay, so it's running final validation. So validation passed, then I'm going to create. So I'm going to give it some time to load. So currently it's deploying my resource, deployment succeeded. Then I'll click on go to resource group or go to resource. So I'm just going to click on go to resource. Now, my resource has been created. So what's remaining is now getting the Azure API key. And to do that, we'll get to keys and endpoint on the left corner navigation bar. So when you click on keys and endpoint, by default, you can now show your keys. Yeah, I can just click to copy, and then I can just click on copy to clipboard, or you can show the keys. Remember, these ones are these keys are so confidential, and you should not share them with anyone. So you just need to click and copy, and then when you get to the AI gaming platform, and when you get onto your bot, you will come here where we have the header vision, and then come and paste your API key over there. So at this point, you have the Microsoft Azure API key, and now you can now start making you can now start making API calls to that endpoint. Now, we'll be taking you through the whole process of working on your bot on Wednesday. But today, the main aim of this meeting was just to show you how to get your API key. Once you get your API key, we'll get started on how to program your bot on Wednesday. And then on Wednesday, we'll also have a number of test tournaments. And then on Friday, we'll have a final tournament. So maybe up to that point, who is lost? Who needs help?
Yeah, I guess I need help.
You just?
Can I share the screen?
Yeah, you can share your screen. Okay. So, what's your name? It's BVQYMZ, right?
Okay, that's my school email. My name is Morris.
Your name is?
Morris.
Okay, Morris. So, have you activated? You activated the school edition, right?
Well, I've just signed up like a few minutes ago. I don't know if I need to. Do they send an email or something?
Okay, so once you get to this point, you will need to go to the just go and Google Azure for Students.
Okay.
But in any case that one fails, then make sure you fill the form that we have just listed, the form that I have just shared in the chat. So let me know if you guys have filled this form. So once you fill this form, then all of you are going to get the activation codes. Yeah. So from a show of hands, how many have managed to fill the form? Okay, so 7 responses. Okay. Just a minute. Okay, because there are very few who have managed to fill the form, I think I'm just going to recommend you just see just a minute. Okay, I'm trying to access the form so that I send you the other activation codes. Just a minute. Okay, guys, please try and ensure that you're using the email address that you used to register for the AI gaming tournament. Yeah. I'm seeing the flow is failing, meaning you guys are using an email address that you did not use to register for the tournament. So kindly check on that.
So I was asking, what if you used your personal email to register for the tournament?
Okay, there's no problem. There's no problem with that. There's no problem.
But for this one, we'll use our school emails. They'll be different.
Okay, you are supposed to use the school email address if you are activating using the Azure for Students website, like just what how Maurice was sharing the screen. But if your school email address fails to work on that site, then you need to fill this form. Yeah. Okay, just a minute, guys. Just a minute, guys. Just a minute. Email address. Today there's a problem with the whole automation process, so I'm really experiencing problems automating. You're supposed to fill the form and automatically get the Azure activation codes, but there's a problem with the automation process. Okay, Christine Wambui, you can ask a question.
I've not yet received.
I've just sent it, so you should have received. Okay, for those who have received, let me know if you're still okay. Somebody's asking a question. Victor Kenneth. So we are issuing the Azure activation codes. The process was supposed to be automated, but we are experiencing some problems with Power Automate. So now we have to do it manually. So there's a form we have shared in the chat, so you need to fill the form. So make sure the form you're using is the form, the email you're using to fill that form is the email you used to register for AI gaming, because if you use another email address, then you might not get the code. Yeah, so the form checks if you exist in our database. If you exist in our database, then is when this Excel file is going to be fed with the information. So maybe those who haven't received, those who haven't filled this form, you can do that one quickly.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Oh. So can see the browser.
Oh, sorry guys, I was muted. Sorry. Okay, let's get started, Timothy. So the first thing to activate your code is go to Azure for Students and click on Start Free. Yep.
Okay.
So you'll have to select your country and then enter your phone number.
Where is Kenya?
Just type K, it will bring it by default. If you type K twice, it will jump to, yeah. Press K again. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so type your number with, for now that you're in Kenya, you can just start with 7 or something like that. Yeah.
That's all right. Text me.
Yeah, text me. Or if you like a call, you can also request a call. So once your account is verified.
Oh, there's no need for 0, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no need for 0. Type it quickly before somebody uses it.
Oh, let me stop sharing a little bit.
Have you typed the code, Timothy? I mean,
just a minute, I'm typing it.
Okay.
409491.
Okay, maybe as Timothy's entering his code, someone else was having problem activating.
Maybe someone else can share in the meantime.
Somebody saying you are reciting it. You stop sharing your screen to prevent somebody from viewing, but then you are still reciting it. Okay, that's funny.
I do it a lot, and I hope you didn't hear.
Okay, let me drop the link to the site so that you guys can. Okay, we'll just get to Google and click Azure for Student.
I've entered the code, but it's refusing.
The code you received by text?
Yes, I received via text.
Okay, you know computers don't lie. That's strange. Who else is experiencing the same problem? Maybe you can start the process of again. And make sure you're fast, because you know the moment you delay, the code do expire.
Oh, it must have expired then.
Yeah. Okay, who is having a problem activating their Azure for Students account? Okay. Christine, Duncan, have you guys activated your accounts?
Are we to use the code you sent us on email?
When activating Azure for Students, okay. When activating Azure for Students, okay, where exactly?
At this point, when after clicking start for free instead of take.
So, where you are asked to enter your phone number, then you are told to enter the code you just received, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So at that point, you should use the code that was sent, that has been sent to your phone number. Also, verification method. Yeah. So at this point, verification method, click on activation code. Just click on that drop-down arrow.
Pardon?
Click on the drop-down arrow on the verification method, and then select verification code. Now at that point, paste the code I just sent by email, and then verify academic status. Then you should receive an email telling you that you have been credited with $100. Is it possible that you just paste it? Why don't you like copy pasting? I never try to trust myself when it comes to copying stuff, so I just do copy paste. You know, but the moment you have finished typing, maybe somebody has already typed it too. And okay. Okay, that was Timothy. So Fiona, what about you? Okay, I can see we have Sifa on the call. Sifa, maybe you can say hi. So Sifa is one of the organizers, but she has been busy with her exams. So Sifa, can you just say hi?
Hi everyone.
Yeah, maybe if you will introduce yourself so that we know your name.
Sorry, my name is
Yeah.
Sifa Kinoti, and I'm glad to see all of you here today.
Okay, thank you, Sifa. Are you guys?
Hi.
Yes, Fiona.
Yeah. For me, I've reached where the the education, I've already activated the Azure account, so I'm in the education tab.
Okay, share your screen so that I guide you through.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see your screen. So click on home. Home. Yep, there we go. Oh, create a resource. Click on create a resource. Then search for computer vision. Just scroll back and search for computer vision. Yeah, click on that. Then click on create. Okay, you're currently into a student ambassador directory, which does not have any subscription. Your other directories, okay. Okay. Student ambassadors. Why is it saying that? Okay, can you click on switch directories? Okay, which email address did you use to activate the code?
My Gmail address.
The fknd001, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Click on default directory, click on switch. Okay, get back to home and create a new resource. Let's now go through that whole process once more. Okay, we said if you have activated a code, just feel free to leave the call. So if I'm seeing on the call, maybe you're still having some problem. So make sure you let us know the exact problem you're having. So create a new resource group. So what I said, a resource group is just like a container that you can use to store your related services or your related resources. So you can just call it AI gaming, RC, anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
West Europe. Make sure you select on West Europe. Just type West Europe. Yeah.
And what about the name? I don't know why.
Pardon? Okay, so make sure it's alphanumeric and just ensure they're in lowercase. So have something unique, something that somebody has, it's like a username, like something that somebody has never used before. So it has to be unique. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then pricing tier, then select on, okay. Maybe, yeah, it's okay. Now, pricing tier selection standard S1. Okay, then select on that checkbox and review and create.
You say the name should be unique.
Yes, Victor, you're saying something, right?
Yeah, I was asking, did you say that the name should be unique?
Which name exactly?
I heard you directing Fiona at the instance details. So it's region East US and the name.
Yeah. The region should be West Europe, not East US, West Europe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then the name of the service should be unique. Yeah. Come up with something. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Click on create, Fiona. So it's initializing a deployment. Okay, let me know who else is on the call and is having the same problem. Okay, Ramon, share your screen. Okay, maybe you can unmute and ask what the exact problem is. Let me just get done with Fiona. Fiona, now once deployment is done or deployment is in progress, once it's done, you'll see something like go to resource. Yeah, click on go to resource. Go to resource. On the bottom, you'll see something like go to resource. Yeah. Now, you have already created the computer vision API keys, so you just need to get the API keys. So click on keys and endpoint. Keys and endpoint. Then you can just copy one key, the first one. Then once that is done, go to the aigaming.com website. Now, click on new. New on top, next to the AI gaming logo. Click on Microsoft API template.py. Then you can give it some name. Then save. Okay, I think that file already exists. So maybe you can give it a different name. Then click on yes. Now, once I've clicked on yes, you can maybe maximize your screen. Then we have the OPC subscription key on the header vision. Just click on these arrows. You will see where we have the information. Yeah, nice. Okay, it should have dragged it. These arrow buttons where we have the information. Just click on the two arrows. Then it will how do you call it? It will hide that information. Where we have, are you seeing where we have the information? Then on the two arrows. It will automatically hide it if you click on, not that one, okay. It might not work at times, no. On top, information, yeah, that one, click on that. Yep, you can do the same on the right or on the left, and it will hide it, so that's okay. Now, if you get to the header vision, OPC API subscription key, your West Europe Microsoft Computer Vision API key goes there. So just replace that with your West Europe Microsoft API. No, not that. You can undo that. Just make sure you undo. Just undo. Yeah. Now we have where we have your Microsoft Computer Vision API key. Are you seeing that on the header vision? Yeah. So replace that with your API key. Yeah. Then save the file. So somebody's asking, what do I insert on the resource name? On the resource name, just type any name. Remember, I said a resource name is just like something that you used. It's like a container that you're going to use to store your services, your resources. So, for example, if you had a website, you have deployed, let's say, 10 websites on Microsoft Azure, and the 10 websites, they belong to different departments. You can decide which departments I'm creating a resource group to store related websites for that specific department. Yeah. So, okay, Fiona, once you click on save, have you clicked on save? Have you saved the file? So after saving the file, you can try and run and see if it works. There's just one more step that's remaining. That is now, I'm stuck at keys and endpoint. Okay, just a minute, I'll be helping you. Okay, click on run. Okay, it's perfect. Everything is working fine. So remember to now, from today, you can start working on you can start watching the video tutorials I shared, the link to the video tutorial I shared on how to optimize your code as you wait for Wednesday, where I'll take you into details. Now, there's just one more thing remaining. Okay, please don't stop sharing a screen. I want to show you guys something. Don't stop sharing a screen. Go back to aigaming.com. Click on the AI Gaming logo, and you can just scroll down to cancel that. Or just click on click on close. Click on close. Click on close. On the bottom right here, we have the close. Yeah. Then click on AI Gaming. Okay, so once you click on AI Gaming, go to on top. Just scroll up. Can you scroll up, please? Scroll up. Now go to games. Click on games, then view tournament. Click on view tournament. Or under gameplay. Yeah, click on view tournament. Now, once you get to that, you are registered for this tournament, but I would like you to leave it. Like, I would like you to change the bot. Leave the tournament. Yeah. Now, I want you to register for the tournament once more. The reason why you're registering for the tournament for another time is because you changed the file. Okay, just click on anywhere on the tournament name. You see where we have registered and there's a checkbox, click on that. Yeah, register for the tournament. Now, under files, can you click on the drop down? Make sure it has selected the last file you created. Is that okay? Yeah, then now you can register. So, invalid event code. Oh, I think, oh yeah, it's okay. That was a previous error. So you are registered for the tournament, number of players currently at 35. So what happens on this date, that is on 02/07/2021 at 7 p.m. in the evening, the tournament will automatically start playing. So if there will be, at this point, you can go back to your bot and edit it as much as you can, but in any point that time will reach when you still have errors in your code, it will be played as it is. So make sure anytime you edit your bot, you save it. So I've just shared a link on the chats with the video tutorials that can get you started as you wait for Wednesday, where we'll be giving you more details on how to work on your bot.